What up, everyone? Another box coming at you. So, our last foreign box. We got one more box from the UK. And that means we have another episode of Tales from the UK. On this episode of Tales from the UK, we have ZBox. So, I've been getting this box recommended to me various times. People are just curious about it, so they wanted me to review it. So, let's talk about getting this box. So, I don't know what it is about the UK and me. They hate everything about me, and they refuse to give me anything that they own. So, this box, signing up for it was a little bit of a pain. I'm not going to go too much into the story because I've told it's pretty much the same story that happens every time. I want something, they don't want to give it to me, I have to argue with them, blah de blah. But essentially, ordering foreign boxes is annoying because you have to wait a long time. Even regular boxes, when you subscribe, you don't get it right away. You just subscribe 1 month, a month you've already missed, and you gotta wait for the next month, so it takes like a month and a half, 2 months to get your box, and for foreign boxes it has to ship overseas, so it takes a long time. So I signed up for this one many months ago, and I waited and waited and waited, and it wasn't showing up, and I couldn't figure out why, and then I went to the website, looked under my profile, and it said my subscription had been canceled. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, why was it canceled? I paid for it already. The money was taken out. So I had to contact their customer service. Luckily, their website's set up pretty well. They're a well-established company, so the website is actually like a good website. And it takes like 2 days to hear back from customer service, but at least they responded, though. But anyway, they told me that there was a problem with charging my PayPal account. It didn't go through. And I'm like, why didn't you guys tell me? Why didn't you tell me it didn't go through so I could have just like given you my card information? And they always respond with a bullshit answer like, oh, that's not our policy, that's not how things work, whatever. Anyway, that happened twice, so it didn't happen 2 different times, so I finally went back and put in like different information to get it to work, but it kept not going through, and I kept waiting for months, and then something would go wrong with the payment, and then it would get refunded to me. I don't know what happened. Again, it was just a whole ordeal. It wasn't as much of a pain in the ass as the other UK boxes, but it did take a lot of time. So I didn't have to yell at people as much, but it did take a lot of time and months. Have to keep checking back, and then finally it went through. So finally my payment went through, and finally it showed up, and I was pretty surprised because the same thing happened the 3rd time. The box wasn't showing up, and I was getting pissed off, so I yelled at customer service finally, and then I went outside and the box was at my doorstep, and I was like, oh shit. So I had to go back to customer service and be like, just kidding, I got it. So anyway, I'm rambling. So not that interesting of a story, but still a pain in the ass. And it's not this case with all foreign boxes, it just seems to be the UK. I've gotten them from Japan and China and stuff like that. Easy as cake, like no problem there at all. But something about me in the UK, they just don't like me. Anyway, so enough talk, enough story time. Let's just get into the box. So, no t-shirt, which is interesting to see in a box, which I'm totally fine with. But we got a pop figure, Big Hero 6, we got Hero. So, part of the problem with getting anything from the UK is the boxes are always beat to shit. Like, this one was beat up bad. Really, really bad shape. So, the pop came in pretty bad shape, too. So, beat up, corners were all dented. And again, I'm not sure why. I don't know why that is from the UK specifically. Again, I've gotten the Japanese boxes, and they were fine. But something about the UK, it got very beat up. So, I don't think this would have been worth any money anyway. Like, obviously, if you're getting a pop figure, you want Baymax, and Hero is just probably not as popular, so I doubt it was worth any money or anything anyway, so not that big of a deal that it came damaged, but still a little bit of a bummer. So we got a Hero pop figure. Then we got a Transformers Stress Ball. Now, I had actually received one of these in a previous box. I think it was Nerd Block a long time ago. So, they would have no way of knowing that. It's not their fault or anything, but it's always a bummer to get something you already have, especially something that's already come in a box. But either way, this is still kind of cool. A little stress ball. Nothing really special about it. Then, we got some filler stuff. So, this was a little card for Thundercats. I don't know if the video will pick it up, but it's one of those things where you turn it and it changes from Lionel's face to the Thundercats emblem. So yeah, this is just kind of a filler thing. It was just a fun little card in there. And then some more stuff like that. We got a little pin, Thundercats pin, a very tiny one, a little itty bitty one. And we got some candy. This one has Scooby-Doo. These candy sticks that I see all the time, they always have a different picture. These ones happen to be Scooby-Doo. And then we got a South Park magnet. What the heck? So yeah, screw you guys, I'm going home. The classic Cartman phrase. Got a little magnet. This is actually good quality, so this is decent. So yeah, fun little magnet. Alright, moving on. What else do we got? Came with a little pamphlet. Some articles. Talks about some stuff from the box, so that's pretty cool. No value or anything, but I just thought I'd mention it. I always appreciate it when they come with a pamphlet. I think, honestly, all boxes should. I don't see any reason why any boxes wouldn't carry a pamphlet just explaining things, but I'm glad they did. Then, we got a comic. It's Uncle Scrooge, which is kind of a weird choice for a comic. I didn't know they even made an Uncle Scrooge comic, but the cool thing is this is a ZBox exclusive, so this is an exclusive comic. I don't know if the whole thing is. I'm assuming just the cover, but it could be the whole thing. I'm not sure. Didn't really say much about that. But again, it's kind of a bummer because it did come damaged. It got pretty beat up. But yeah, exclusive comic. And the last item. These are called Bully Land. So it's kind of like a mystery box. Obviously it's in a bag, but a little mystery figure. And I got... Get out of there. I got a little Frozone from Incredibles. Now I actually really like this. I've stated before that I like figures. I obviously like tiny figures. I got a shitload of them here. And this is something I've never seen before. And I actually tried to look it up to get more of them because I really liked it. And I couldn't find any because I found out these are made in Germany. The writing on the back's in German, so these are, I'm assuming, exclusive to Germany. Whatever Disney outlet they have there, they're making them in Germany. Which is kind of a bummer. But the good news is, this is exactly what I would want to see. It's safe to say that UK boxes aren't going to get a lot of exclusive stuff because most of the stuff in here is from America. So it's really nice to see something that's from Europe. That's what I would hope to see. And hopefully someday things are more established in the UK where they can have their own set of stuff, so when we order boxes, we'll get new stuff and not stuff we already have here. So this is what I would hope to see all the time. Obviously, they're limited in the UK to the exclusive stuff they have, so it was really cool to see this. It's always exciting for me to see something I've never seen before, so it's a big deal to me. And I really like the little figures. They don't have a lot of them out. They're on Series 1. There's only 8 figures out there, but I really like that. I hope to see more. So that was all the items in the box. And I'll actually show you the box too. The inside of it had some pretty cool decoration. And I'm pretty sure the theme on this one was animation. So it has a picture of Lionel, it has a Pixar emblem, it has Transformers and Baymax, so yeah, decent stuff. So let's jump into a value on this box. Alright, time for some value. Now, let's start off with the easy ones. So the pop figure, $10. No argument there. There was nothing special about it. This is a very common figure. Came damaged, but no big deal. $10 on that. The Transformers Stress Ball. This actually comes in a nice little package. It's not super high quality, but about as high quality as a stress ball can get. But this would go for like $5 or $6. I could see it going for something like that in a store if you wanted this specifically. So again, unfortunate that I already had it, but it's still cool. If you like stress balls or if you needed one, so $5 or $6 on that. Then, the comic. So this is $4. How do I know? It says it. It says $4 on there, so that's how much it is. It might be a little bit different because it's exclusive, but it also came damaged, so I'm not really going to change the value on that. I'm just going to keep it at $4. Then the little filler stuff. So like things like this little card, this really doesn't have much value at all. This is something I'd see coming for free if you like bought a DVD or something like that. This would come for free, or if you ever went to some kind of convention, I would see this going for free. And so together with like the pin, the card, and the candy, like collectively, I'd say like $3 on this, which is being generous on the value because a lot of these things would be pretty much free. But I'll just put $1 on each and say $3 total for the filler stuff. I think that's fair. And then we got the magnet. So this would go for like $2 or $3. There's nothing really special about it. It's a basic magnet, but it is still like a good quality magnet, and it's not like cheaply made or anything like that, and it's of a popular character, so I can see it's going for like $2 or $3, maybe even like a $1 or $2 more than that, a reasonable amount. And then lastly, the little figure. This was much harder to put a value on because we don't have these in America, so this would go anywhere from like $6 to $10. I've seen like one of these show up online, and it went for about like $7. So they're not crazy expensive even to get them shipped to the U.S. They're just pretty hard to find because there aren't a lot of them. So, but I was still really happy to see something like this. I thought it was a very cool figure, and I hope that some of them show up online because I'd like to get a couple more of them. I thought they were cool, and they don't take up much space, and they were pretty good quality. And I like the whole mystery aspect of it, so I thought that was fun. So, total value on this box was on the low end about $30 and on the high end about $36. So the good thing about ZBox is shipping. They don't overcharge for shipping. They're actually really good about it. So anyone in the UK gets free shipping, obviously, and US buyers get charged more. But the good thing is you only get charged £1 extra, which translates to like $1.50 US. So they only charge you $1.50 more to ship it all the way to the US, which, as far as I'm concerned, is a really good deal for international shipping. All the other UK boxes charge almost $15 extra to get shipped to the US. And some of the American boxes, like Collectible Geek, used to charge $15 for shipping, like ridiculous amounts. So to see a box only charge $1 or $2 extra for international shipping is really awesome. So the good news is the rating I can give it is pretty general for US and UK buyers because we're paying about the same price. So it's £20 with the additional pounds. So we in the US pay around $30. I think it came out to 33 if I'm not mistaken, but around 30. So with the value of 30 to 36, you're getting about what you paid for. Again, it's always different for people in the UK. They're probably going to love a box like this because most of the stuff in there they can't get there, and it's US stuff, so it's cool. For us, a lot of it is somewhat generic. I really did like the Disney, the little mystery Disney figure. That was cool, but everything else was very generic. It's very easy to find in the US, and it's very easily attainable. So you didn't really get really good value. So as far as a rating on this, I'm going to give this a 5.5. I would give it a 5 because it just barely met any deadline. Everything was pretty average in there, and you got pretty much what you paid for, so it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. The reason it got that extra 0.5 was for that Disney figure, because I'd never seen that, so it's cool for me to see something, find out about something I didn't know about. So that got a little bit of a boost in the points because of that specifically, and I hope I can find more of them. So I'm unsure if I'm getting ZBox next month. I may have already missed the deadline. I'm pretty sure it's Avengers or Marvel or something like that, which is cool. And I vaguely remember them mentioning that there's going to be some exclusive items. And it's not like it's super expensive, but one, I need to cut back on the boxes. It's getting way too expensive. And two, I just have a feeling I'm going to get excited about it, like order it, and it's going to be like super generic stuff again. So I'm going to debate about it. Maybe I'll just hold back and watch other people because I really need to cut down the boxes. This month has been absolutely ridiculous and it's been way too much. So I may need to tone it back, but we'll see. So this has been an okay box. So I definitely recommend it for anyone in the UK because it's fairly cheap and you got some decent stuff. But for people in the US, I'd probably pass on it just because it was average and there's so many better boxes in the US coming up every month. There's new boxes and they're all somewhat decent. So I'd stick to the US in the case of this one. So this has been ZBox. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments. We have 2 more boxes till this month is over, and then we're doing our monthly reviews. So stay tuned. Love you all. Peace.